Any Jaguar XJ of this final iteration, its X351 shape, is, as many of you know, one of our absolute favourite cars to talk about, and definitely one of our most in demand, because it's not uncommon to see one of these leave within 24 hours of coming into our collection. This one, though, perhaps even more so because of how special it is. In fact, it has some options which are extremely rare to find. Its first rare option, of course, you will have already seen from the title. This is an XJL. In other words, the long wheelbase version. Larger rear doors, more rear space, and it wasn't exactly a vehicle lacking in space to begin with, so in other words, this is the exact kind of spec you would have seen in Her Majesty's motorcade. On top of that, of course, it also has the most efficient choice of engine, the 3-litre V6 diesel. We'll get more into that engine in a second because it's a fantastic perk of these, and certainly one of the key ways which this generation of XJ set itself apart over the already fantastic previous cars which came before it, and in terms of that spec again, it's a portfolio as well, so incredibly well equipped. And let's talk about that level of kit first because it is definitely the standout here. In addition to being finished in the perfect choice of ultimate black with soft grain ivory leather, a gorgeous colour combination, particularly here with those grey wheels as well. It has heated seats, of course that electric panoramic roof, cruise control, of course for motorways it's perfect. A car like this really is in its element on long distance journeys, front and rear parking sensors, of course that full rear entertainment package with rear screens, the picnic tables, even an exceedingly rare option of the fold down rear passenger mirrors, which is more the kind of thing you'd expect to see from a Rolls-Royce or a Bentley, and a very lovely touch on this car as well. It has factory fitted carbon fibre veneers, of course that touchscreen display, no less than 20 speakers as part of its Meridian sound system, Bluetooth and auxiliary connectivity along with built-in sat-nav, 4-zone climate control for all 4 passengers, of course that power opening and closing boot, and then we get to its history, its condition and its mileage, because this has covered nearly 10,000 less miles than the average for one of these on the market. Even a 2012 car such as this one is, at barely 76,000, it has a full service history behind it, still has its book pack and 2 keys intact. In fact, it's just been serviced as well and has already had its all-important cam belt change carried out. And to return to the point of that engine, the 3-litre is such a fantastic best of both worlds example. We talk about engines like this and cars like this, of course, an awful lot in our collection, and this is a prime example of why. On the one hand, you have the kind of power, certainly low-end pulling power in particular, that you would want from a flagship Jaguar, 270 horses, 440 foot-pounds of torque, but at the same time, a huge leap forward in efficiency and fuel economy over the already fantastic, for example, Sovereigns and XJs, which came before it, up to 45 miles to the gallon average, as high as 50 on the motorway, which is already astonishing for a normal XJ, let alone a long wheelbase with even more space, and even its yearly road tax is a very modest £305 a year, at a time when some luxury cars are well over 700, even for this kind of age, and in some occasions even older. And speaking to the point of costs, that of course brings us to the tidy bow, which brings all of this car's brilliance together. What was, when new, even more expensive than an already 50, 60 plus £1,000 flagship is now under £12,000. And it goes without saying, if a normal XJ is going to fly out of the door at that price point, this one even more so. It is that much more luxurious, more special, certainly rarer, and for somebody who is doing everything from using it as perhaps a prestige business vehicle or even as your personal daily driver, thanks to well in excess of 40 miles to the gallon, you can certainly do both of those things and everything in between. If then you are on the market for an XJ, absolutely an even more special long wheelbase version, then this is a beautiful example. So of course you can reach out regarding it via the email address shown right here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871155 or on our mobile number of 07482 267 439.